or welcome to the Thought Daughter podcast. I am Nina DeGroot, and I'm here with Brooklyn again. She was on the Modern Art episode.
The one where I can't be heard.
The one where her mic cut out. We're gonna be really giggly today, because Brooklyn's one of my closest friends, and she won't stop making fun of me because I can't do intros.
Dream guest on my podcast?
Dream guest on my podcast?
Let's spice things up. One of my exes.
The topic for today, we're gonna talk about specifically Brooklyn's hot take on violence in video games.
This one's all about me. Specifically this one.
I specifically say Brooklyn because I was feeling lazy and tired and I had topic ideas, and then Brooklyn said, I'm really interested in this, maybe we could talk about this. And I said, done, bring the content, I'll be here and listen. So this is Brooklyn's episode today. What's your hook? What's your claim to your essay?
Should I pull that up?
Well, first off, explain to us why this topic, because we haven't even talked. Tell us what your topic is, because all I have said is that it's a hot take that you have. I want to know, like, why, what you're actually going to be talking about, why it's a hot take, and why do you have so much information on it? Were you researching for fun? Were you...
Well, it was mostly brought up, one, because my mom would talk about it. So, okay, I'm a little bit spiteful, and sometimes I want to prove people wrong. So,
I know.
So I get a lot of information on things.
Because it's actually according to A, B, and C. Like,
actually, but I've also done, like, 3 school assignments on this, and because it's a topic I'm willing to talk about, and honestly one that I think should be addressed. Okay, well, long story short, a reason I'm interested in it, I like video games.
Really?
To put it bluntly, I like video games.
It's almost like I haven't come over to your house and I just sit with you and watch you play video games. I actually really enjoy it. Watching you play video games is actually so fun. It's like watching a movie, but like somehow more interactive.
Except for I start yelling sometimes.
And hitting me.
Another thing, my mom comes after me for the video games I play because, of course, yeah, they're violent video games. Mm-hmm. Like, it's Call of Duty, it's Red Dead Redemption, it's like, yes, there's murder in the video game.
They are violent because it is showing, like,
yeah,
people harming other people, but also
so is Marvel. I don't see Marvel getting blamed for violence.
Wait.
Have you?
Wait, are we gonna go into this? Wait.
Okay, this is something I can talk about.
First off, give us your claim. Like, what is?
Okay. Well, a common misconception is that video games will lead to violence. That is a claim. It's not just like, oh, like a stereotype. It is used in court cases. It is used to explain away murders and shootings, and it really pisses me off that these are the reasons.
Scapegoat because most video games are so violent. And honestly, like, I remember in elementary school they had us write an essay about this because we were talking about, like, are video games good or bad for, like, child development? And I think I originally, like, was doing my research in, like, elementary. Like, this was, like, a very early essay, and they chose video games because it's easy for kids to write about.
Yeah, of course.
But I was doing, like, my research because you needed to have, like, a few sources, and a bunch of them were like, video games lead to violence. Well, and I was like, whoa! And I put that in, and, like, it seemed totally believable, but, like, hearing you talk a little bit about it, just briefly, I was like, wait a minute.
Well, it also, whatever topic you search, that's what you're gonna get. If you search video games are a cause of violence, you're going to get all these things saying they are. Mm-hmm. If you search video games aren't a cause of violence, you're going to get all these claims saying they're not, which is why you really need to go to unbiased and factual evidence. Mm-hmm. Like, you need graphs and statistics to prove what you're saying, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, I personally, there might be claims out there, but I haven't seen a school shooter or someone say, oh yeah, I did this because I play Call of Duty, or I did this because I play all these violent video games. Like, I've never seen something like that. I've seen other people saying, oh, they did this because they play violent video games. These people who are committing these crimes. I can't say this, like, for sure, because I'm not certain about it, but a good portion of them I would say, like, how they're portrayed is they're, like, inside people. They don't have, like, many connections to the outside world, so they do spend so much of their life on video games. If that's all someone's life revolved around, then that's what they're gonna claim caused it, right? Mm-hmm. Because, like, that's all they have to show, you know? So if someone is sad and alone and they're playing these games all the time because that's what they do to, like, that's just how they spend their time, and that's all they have to... yeah, if that's all they have to show for their time, then people are going to say, well, this must have caused it because this is all they did. This is all they saw. So
Yeah, but also it's like...
what else did they go through, though?
It's a hobby.
The bullying, the, like, mistreatment. Maybe that's what caused it, not...
And it's just a hobby. Like, I feel like that can be said about so many hobbies. Like, if you're into art, there's multiple... I'm just saying art because I'm super into art. But there are so many art pieces that talk about violence and demonstrate violence, even if it's in a way where it's like, this should be against violence, but you're still seeing, like, there is violence everywhere. And no matter where you go, there's going to be violence. So I feel like pointing the blame and saying video games is what causes violence is just like, you can literally say that about anything and it's not necessarily going to be true. But, like, that's just the easiest thing to point to because it's so obvious that it's in video games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's...
My head hurts.
Okay, well, I don't know if I should go into, like, the main subjects to say why not, or, like, basically, it's a scapegoat because it's, again, yeah,
Because
it's
it's so obvious
an
that
easy
it's there.
pointer. Like, it's, people are using it as a way to deflect finding the real reason. They're kind of like, oh, I don't want to do much into this. I don't want to actually, like, learn from these people. I don't want to talk to these people.
This kid is
so I'm just gonna
obviously
say.
very mentally ill, needs help, and is a violent child.
So instead of understanding them, we're just going to push away the blame on something else.
That child spends a lot of their time playing video games that sometimes portray violent elements. So that must be what it is.
Yeah, but another main thing to bring to the topic is that claim is 90% of the time only used when it is a white male. When it is anyone else, they will find any other reason to deflect. But if it is a white male, that's the claim that they use, is video games.
Because you can use, like, race for people who, like...
Because they'll use stereotypes.
Because they're racist people, but, like, as soon as it's someone that has white privilege, it's
and
like...
male privilege and just
They say-
nothing...
I smell violence, right? And it's in the video game.
It's the video games causing it. So I have an actual thing for that. Oh yeah, so the American Psychological Association, written by a certain essay I read that was written by Marquet. I think this is old information, like as of a few months ago, because it was for an essay, and I kind of just pulled it out of my essay rather than finding the subject guide. But this is what I put in my essay. Researchers analyzed more than 200,000 news articles about 204 mass shootings over a 40-year period and found that video games were 8 times more likely to be mentioned when the shooting occurred at a school and the perpetrator was a white male, not when the shooter was an African-American male. 8 times more likely.
They said, we need to point the blame somewhere.
Because they don't want to find real reasons.
My main thing, and the hard thing is because there could just be people that are so mentally ill that they see violence in video games where they could say, wait, maybe I could do that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's directly tied to
It's
everything.
not causing it. No happy individual that has, like, a kid, or who has a good life, who is, like, living, like, a socially normal life, they have friends, they have family, they aren't seeing these video games and immediately going down this rabbit hole. There are other things causing this. I'm not going to completely say that video games are completely out of the reason. Yes, there is a possibility that they are seeing this stuff.
Because people that are extremely already mentally ill might see that violence and say, this is cool because it's in a video game, so I want to.
Yeah.
Because mental illness is real and that can confuse people that are mentally ill. But, like, I don't think it's fair to say if your child is playing video games that contain violence, they will be a violent person.
No, yeah, it's mental illness and other reasons are behind it. It's just this is what they have seen that may have led to an outlet. And even so, maybe that's not their reason whatsoever. Like, they do have other problems going on. And the video games just weren't involved whatsoever. But, like, that's something that people will try to use, is that they're seeing these video games and that's what's causing it. No, there's so much more behind it. We just never hear about those things. We're never told about these things. Who knows if they're even looking into these things? They're just saying video games are the reason. And that drives me insane. And I know we're living in a generation where all media is just at our fingertips, and what people don't realize is you can't trust what you read online. There are mainstream media, news outlets, like, they're biased. They can't always be
and even
trusted.
if people don't say like, personally, this is a personal belief, and I actually do want to do an episode on this later. I don't think it's possible to be completely non-biased. Oh,
I
Someone wants to say hi.
Hi, buddy.
Here, you want to talk about violence with us? Oh my goodness. Hello.
What do you think about video games?
Okay, but another main statistic or point to bring up is that so we're claiming that video games lead to violence, right?
Mm.
Then why isn't the rest of the world seeing this too?
Are you saying this
America?
is strictly...
It is strictly America. This is an American belief. For example, the top 3 video consumers in the world are Japan, Korea, and America. We're third. The third largest consumer of video games in the world is America, but there are still Japan and Korea are above us. In 2024, America saw 16,576 violent gun deaths, not including suicides. Japan has not reached that number in 10 years. That was 1 year for America. 10 years in Japan has not seen that number.
Oh my goodness.
Nowhere near it. If video games are leading to violence, then why isn't the rest of the... Hi, buddy.
He's so excited to be here.
Hi. If video games are leading to violence, why doesn't the rest of the world see this? Why aren't people in Japan acting out and committing all these crimes? And I'm not saying there isn't crime there. Yes, there is still crime there. There are still violent crimes there. But if you look at the statistics, it is so much lower. And the problem is that there are so many people that play video games. In the world, there are it is another statistic for you. Yay! 3.32 billion people actively play video games. Whether that be Call of Duty, whether that be Candy Crush, whether that be... I can name a lot. In America alone, 61% of U.S. citizens between the ages of 5 to 90 play video games. That's a lot of our population. Mm-hmm. And if you're claiming that video games lead to violence... why isn't 61% of our population committing these violent acts? Or, for example, let's say...
Oh my gosh!
Some of those people are playing Candy Crush. So let's say maybe 40% of people are playing video games that include some form of violence. Mm-hmm. These huge games have violence that so many people have played, and yet not all these people are acting out in violence. It's insane to me that we can push this way. And a good reason to bring up, they have stricter laws there. Mm-hmm. They have
gun
more
violence or like not gun violence, but like gun control is a lot looser in America than it is.
Oh yeah, and
which I will put my opinion on right now.
I'm not anti-gun. I've grown up around guns. I've shot so many guns. Like I'm not saying we shouldn't have guns, but there's a point, you know.
I get that like gun violence would stop if no one had guns. But I also feel like gun violence would stop if we started paying attention to people.
No, 100%. Or just regulations.
Exactly!
Like, our gun laws are pretty loose. And because I feel like it's either so far one way... This is one thing. It's just a little bit political. It's not on either side, but just political is... Mm-hmm. I feel like people feel like you have to be so far one way or so far the other way. For example, gun violence. You either have to be completely anti-gun or... pro-gun, guns aren't the problem, screw you if you say otherwise. Like, no, there can be a middle ground. Mm-hmm. Like, you can find somewhere in the middle, and I feel like our parties just have to be so different from each other. Mm-hmm. Like, they can't ever agree.
Mm-hmm. And this is slightly different, but on the same note where it comes with, like, gun violence and gun regulation, me and my dad actually had a talk about this, and one point he made is if someone wants a gun, they will find a way to get a gun.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
No matter what regulations are in place, same thing with drug abuse, same thing with, like, any kind of abuse with people, drugs, anything like that.
Yeah, there will always be a way to get access.
If someone wants it bad enough, they will find a way to get it. So, it's just so hard.
But still, regulations can make it harder.
Mm-hmm. Back on the topic of violence in video games, we were talking a lot about gun violence. Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of misconception is not only gun violence. Yeah. I feel like it can also be physical violence, like domestic abuse later in life.
Oh, for sure.
Because I've seen things like that where it's like your video game violence can lead to you being a violent person, which I don't think is true. I think that can be like maybe a teeny factor, being like that's what you grew up seeing all the time, or maybe that's like you saw that in a game and you thought that was like cool. Like, I don't know.
But the thing is, if the world around you isn't like that, then you know it's not normal. Like, you
And,
can
like,
say that...
there's so many other factors, like literal human rights, where people are saying that it's not okay, that I feel like there's a lot more going on. Because I feel like you can't say, like, video games promote violence when you look anywhere and no one is saying violence is so good. Everyone is telling you violence is wrong. So I feel like saying video games, like, promote violence, I feel like, I don't know how to explain this. I'm so bad with words.
I see what you're getting at. Unless all you ever saw, like, and I don't mean like, oh, you play them all the time. I mean, like, if this is
You're
the
living,
only
you're
thing
living
you
under
experience,
a rock.
yeah,
And you have
like,
a
you have
PC.
no other human interaction other than these video games. Maybe you can claim they think this is normal. If you see the outside world, you know that's not normal. You're not gonna see this fictional thing. You know it's fiction. You know it's fake. Okay? You're... Take a deep breath. No, 1 second. But you have all these other things around you. You're not just seeing these video games and thinking, oh, that must be normal. That must be good. That must be... Like, yes, there are... Maybe there's people with certain mental, dysfunctions that may misunderstand these things. But from a standpoint of saying people are seeing these and they're just thinking this violence is normal. No, they're not. Okay? What the world around you is what you're going off of. These video games are fiction. They're not the world around you. You may play them all day, every day, but there's still a world out there, and you know what's going on.
And personally, my opinion, if you're looking at video games and not the outside world and saying everything that happens in video games, especially when it comes to violence, is normal, log off, personally.
Yeah, you have a whole different set of issues.
You need to experience the real world. Because not only is you having a problem with what is reality and what is reality and what is not reality, you have a problem literally, like, knowing, like, I don't even know. Like, it's just...
Do you think video games desensitize people to this violence? And that kind of goes with our topic that we were just talking about, is, like, to a point. Like, if it is all you're seeing, maybe. I think, but the main thing is these things are a form of stress relief. When I'm not going and playing these video games so that I can get out all these, like, dark fantasies. It's a form of stress relief, and I think people use that. There is evidence to suggest that while people are claiming that these video games lead to violence, there's stuff that says these video games lead to a decrease in violence. Because it's giving people an outlet. It's letting them let out their frustrations and stress. And, like, when you're playing a video game, you can be whoever you want to be. And sometimes that does cause problems, let's be honest.
Also, like, I think there's something kind of nice about being able to disconnect for a controlled amount of time. I'm not saying completely, but I feel like there's something kind of nice about being able to disconnect and play a video game where you are a different character and then being able to reconnect later. I feel like it's kind of like a refresh.
No, yeah, like...
And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me and be like, you need to just, like, be yourself and be in your own, like, which I get. But
in
I think
the real
it also
world,
can be healthy to disconnect for a little while.
Yeah, and also in the world, sometimes you can't be yourself. There's so many things that say, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't act like this, you can't do all that. Like, it's kind of just a breather. Like, you can just do whatever you want, and in video games, there's no consequences, other than you might get banned for saying a bad word, but, like...
Or, like, if you're playing a game that's not online, you might die, lose a life, whatever. But, like, there's always, like, a way to start over, and there's always a way to, like, reset.
Yeah, for example, one of my favorite games that I love to play is Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, I know.
Where you play... Oh, I know. I love that game. Does that mean I want to go rob and kill people in my day-to-day life?
Blow up a train? No.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. That's not something I'm interested in. Is it fun in the game? It's a video game.
Believe it or not.
I love this game. I love the story. I love just being able to relax and play this. I don't want to rob and kill people. I don't want to live this life. That's not who I am. It's still a fun game, though. Like, it's just...
And, like, I feel like a lot of people can also twist that to be like, she thinks it's fun because it has violence.
That's honestly, not the main reason I play it.
Even, like, this is slightly different because it's not, like, real. Because I feel like Red Dead Redemption is, like, somewhat historically accurate.
To a point.
To a point where, like, it could have happened in the real world. I play games like Zelda. That's the point I'm making. So,
Yeah.
like, I feel like, but, like, all I'm gonna say is, like, with Zelda, I don't play Zelda. I'm outing myself so hard. I like Zelda!
That's such a normal game to like.
I know, but I told people and they're like, really? I'm like,
Really?
I need you to leave me alone!
I like Zelda is such a normal game.
I
to
nerd
like.
out.
There's
Okay.
people, I play Baldur's Gate. I get people coming after me for that, let's be honest.
But, like, I'll play Zelda, and, like, I don't play Zelda because I'm like, I want to go and slay Ganon. Like, I want to go in there and I want to use my cute little glowing sword and kill monsters.
You with a glowing sword would be amazing.
But, like, I'm not going into Zelda for the violence. I'm going to Zelda for the storyline.
Exactly. I love story-based games. I can do a whole different yap on why I love certain video games.
But I go into Zelda for the storyline, and I go into it because it's a world game where I can wander around and
I love
fun
just...
things.
And there's
Love
horses
these
and I can ride my horsies.
Another reason for loving Red Dead Redemption, the horses.
Not us, like, outing ourselves as horse girls.
I'm a horse girly.
No. You're a rat girl. Don't get on.
Hi, Penelope.
Don't bring her into this.
Are there any more points? Stress relief, gun violence, how America is the problem.
This
Not
is
saying
America.
it is. But I feel like I've made all my...
Yeah.
Is there any questions you have that I might be able to answer?
I honestly think you made a really good point. I, again, in the past have been like, yeah, violence in video games, like, can influence people. Which can be true.
To a point, yeah.
To a point.
I'm not saying it's completely wrong. I'm just saying it
What
is
I'm saying
not
is, like, it
the
can
reason.
be true to a point, but the point is there has to be a lot more going on as well.
Like, it can't be our main deflect.
You
It can't...
cannot use video games as your main scapegoat to justify violence.
No, we need to find real answers. We need to get behind these things and not just try to push away the blame. I'm so sick of people coming out and, like, saying, oh, these video games will make you violent. I love my mom so much, but we've had arguments about this where... This is one thing I got passionate about because of the
When
arguments.
Fortnite came out in elementary school, I asked my mom, can I please play Fortnite? Because I want to be popular and cool. Because this is at the point where I was nervous I wasn't. And and I still am not. We never got there. And
I'm talking about all of us.
yeah. And, like, I remember being like, Mom, can I please play Fortnite? And she was like, it's violent.
But you were allowed to play Call of Duty.
And the same day, my dad was like, I'm going to teach you how to play Call of Duty.
No,
Go
I
team!
actually love knowing, like, it's so, it has always been so wild to me how you weren't allowed to play Fortnite. And honestly, a good thing.
Hey,
Hi, Mom!
We're talking about you.
Honestly, I think you were saved. Fortnite is a...
We're talking about the fact
It's
that...
brain rot.
This is Mom. We're talking about the fact that when I was in elementary school, I asked you if I could play Fortnite, and you said, no, it's too violent. And then Dad, the same day, came to me and said, I'm going to teach you how to play Call of Duty.
I do find that so funny because there is a big difference in violence between Fortnite and Call of Duty, but Fortnite is like
I think,
the community.
to be
so
fair,
it's-
I think one of the other reasons was my mom didn't want me playing online with people I didn't
That's-
know. I'm looking at it being like, this is a fun thing me and my dad have always done together.
it's a competitive fun thing. You're having fun together. It's a challenge. Like
I'm not looking
you're
at
not
it
looking at
and
it
being
"Ooh,
like,
I just killed someone.
I'm killing my dad's character.
I'm looking at it being like, me and my dad are having such a fun time. And he's getting mad at me now because I've gotten to that point where I'm better at my dad than Call of Duty.
I love it. for you.
Y'all, I'm actually cracked.
I'm so good. But I feel like it just needs to stop being our excuse, you know? And it drives me crazy when that's brought up. Or like, I do think that there are people who can be influenced by video games. I'm not saying like it's completely out of the picture. I do think, like, especially in our generations where kids are being raised completely on the internet, it drives me insane. I will not raise an iPad child. Gen Z needs to step up because, I'm sorry,
What's going on?
the bottom of Gen Z and Gen Alpha iPad kids, it drives me a little bit insane. I was not raised like that. If you're going to be a parent, you know?
I feel like we've yapped.
For a hot sec. So many jumping on
second.
all the points. This is
But-
going to be editing for you.
Oh, I can't wait. And it's my new editing software that I haven't tried yet.
Oh, yay.
So I get to go figure all that out.
I
But
feel like such a child sitting like this.
thank you for bringing the
Yeah.
topic. And because I didn't have anything that I really felt ready to talk about or passionate enough to talk about today. So that was very sweet of you to bring a cool topic because it really did turn out really cool.
And I feel like I struggle to put my points into like proper words. So like there is so much more that I could say that I don't know how to articulate, but like
Also, the thing about this podcast is it's not really structured.
no, yeah, it's just
Fortunately or unfortunately, it's literally not structured because we want to be able to talk about whatever comes to mind and whatever we feel passionate about. So,
which I think is so good. It's such a good outlet.
thanks. That's all we have for today.
Thanks for joining my podcast.
Thanks for joining the podcast. If you're a listener that keeps coming back, thank you. I appreciate you so much. If you're new, thank you. I appreciate you so much. And this is Nina and Brooklyn on the Thought Daughter podcast, and I will see you all next Monday. Bye!
Bye-bye.
Come here.
I think we need to find.
Stop trying to stand up, brother. Can you calm down?
Dog breath.
Look at
You can come sit right here and we'll both scratch you. Come here.
You're actually fake. What? You can't sit there.
Come on, come here. Not. Okay. We're gonna sit right here, and we're gonna be. We're gonna be gentle. Stay. Okay. Stay.
Come on.
He's
right
fine to be right here.
I just his pose is so awkward. Come here.
He's just my little guy. Okay.
Here, no, he can sit right here. It's okay.
No, he's my little.
Okay. Come here. You are so rebellious and mean, and I don't understand where all this sass came from.
He's just proving.
And honestly, all I would like is a little bit of respect.
He's like, look at me. I get to sit here. He said, "You're boring me right now."